What's up guys, how y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here, bringing you another World of Tanks video, and welcome to my review of the tier 5 Japanese medium, the Chinu, recently released as part of the Japanese tech tree. And first things first, let's do some quick comparisons with the Japanese premium that was released about a month ago, the Chinu Kai. And then I'm gonna move and onwards and actually review the tank itself. So for those of you that have owned the Chinu Kai and have played with it on a regular basis, you're gonna be on familiar ground here, basically, because this tank is very similar to the Chinu Kai, the tier 5 Japanese premium. Basically it boasts pretty much exactly the same gun, 7.5, rate of fire 12, pen 124, damage 125. So gun, you're performing exactly the same. So that's a good news thing first and foremost, because the gun is really good. It's a very very decent gun, very nice amount of pen and a quick reload speed. Not only that, more good news. Traverse is increased. I believe, pardon me. I believe this is a somewhat lighter tank, and as a result, it moves much quicker. It doesn't necessarily have a better speed or anything like that, but the acceleration is there. The mobility is much better, and the turret traverse is increased. So it's all round. When you compare it to the Chinu Kai, it's a much more responsive tank, absolutely. But you do lose a little bit of a turret armor. But having said that, you know, the way that I played the Chinu Kai, which was sniping from a distance, support, armor was never really an issue for me in the Chinu Kai, due to the fact that, you know, I wouldn't get into one-on-one confrontations. So it's pretty much the same in this tank. So the turret armor, the decrease in turret armor isn't really an issue. So for those of you that have played in the Chinu Kai, it's good news. You're getting a better tank, more bang for your buck, absolutely. Anyhow, so let's get into the review of the Chinu, the Type 3 Chinu, the tier 5 Japanese medium. Now you're gonna see this all the way through the tank, the Japanese tech tree. Armor. This tank has absolutely atrocious armor. Do I really need to read it out? Hull armor 50 at the front, 25 on the sides, 20 at the rear. Turret 50 at the front, 35 on the sides, and 25 at the rear. So you have no armor. Be wary of other tanks that have loaded HE, because if you know how to play world tanks, you see a Japanese tank and you've got a quick reloading gun, that's what you're going to load up to inflict the max amount of damage on that Japanese tank. Is HE. So, and likewise for yourself, if you make sure you have an ample stock of HE on your tank when you're rolling out in Battlefield. You know, the Japanese tank line has just been released, so there's Japanese tanks galore, so it works both ways, kind of thing. So armor. We'll come back to the armor. 480 hit points, it's okay, it's decent. Engine power 300. Top speed of 39. It's like I mentioned previously, this tank is very responsive on the battlefield. Traverse speed 34, turret traverse 36. It's a very nice little tank, and I instantly noticed, you know, the difference compared to the premium tank. So it's a very nice, handles well, handles like a medium, very much so. And the top gun on this tank, like I mentioned before, is the 7.5 centimeter tank gun, type 5, rate of fire 12, pen 124, damage 125, aim time not that fantastic, 2.29, accuracy again not that fantastic. 0.37, but definitely, you know, something that you can work with. So definitely something you can work with. It's not the worst thing in the world. View range 350, average, nothing special there. Signal range 550. Not bad, you know. It's okay. It's okay. And definitely with this tank, what I found was that the best way, I'm going back to my Chinukai review, which is you don't have any armor, and it's as simple as that. If you don't have any armor, don't brawl, don't get into one-on-one situations. Hold down is definitely not an option. You're there to support your teammates, nothing more, nothing less. Look for your heavies, use their armor as your armor, and it's pretty much as simple as that. If you use their armor, there you go, you just received an armor boost. Just peek over their shoulders, they're in front of you, and you're laying down support fire. And where is the focus? The focus is on the tanks in front of you, the heavies, etc, etc, and you're supporting the heavies that are in front of you, and you're supporting your team, and you've got a quick firing gun with a very decent pen. So that's the name of the game in the Chinu, absolutely 100%. One last thing before we roll out into the battlefield. Equipment loaded for this tank was, me personally, medium caliber tank gun rammer, shaves off 10% of your loading time. Enhanced gun lay and drive, shaves off, adds 10% to your aiming speed, and improved vents adds 5% to all crew skills. So I think that was pretty much the best options for this tank. So let's roll out into some gameplay onto the battlefield. Let's have some fun. So hey ho, let's go. Chinu tier 5, and you can see that this is pretty much a tier 5 tier 4 heavy game, and we are on Prokhorovka at night time. And first things first, this was my very first game, keep that in mind. And straight away from the get-go, what I notice is the speed, the acceleration. It's not necessarily a better speed, but the acceleration was there. I instantly noticed that, and I instantly felt that with the Chinukai. It was very sluggish. It was very sluggish, and I had a lot of problems, had a lot of trouble getting uphill and all of that stuff. But with this tank, it is very responsive. You can see it kind of zooming across these hills, these fields here, what have you. And it's not having any trouble whatsoever. It's a little bit of an uphill here, and it's not having any kind of trouble signaling for help, for assistance in taking a hill. Absolutely, there's a little scout in the middle there. Stop for a second, but keeping in mind that Artie is in play, so you know my sixth sense has gone. I can linger here, but you know, not for too long. Gets tracked and taken out, so time to move along very quickly. Move along. A little bit of a wiggle there, you can see. And Artie is in play. Absolutely, Artie is in play. So keep in mind, this is a tier 5, tier 4 game. It is a mid-tier game, and I am of the opinion that the mid-tier games are full of mid-tier players. So keep that in mind. It's mid-tier skill. That's my opinion. I don't think it's a majority of the players are actually tier 10 players that are grinding, etc. There is a percentage, but for the most part, I get the feeling, and from my research, is these are mid-tier players. These are mid-tier games full of mid-tier players with mid-tier skills, is what I'm trying to convey, is what I'm trying to say. Got there in the end, didn't I? And so as you can see, that there was a stug lit up there, and I'm very hesitant. You know, I respect the stug, and lo and behold, there's a Chinu. And And take a look at this. See, this is kind of pitiful, actually. What can you do? Tier 3. And but you know, I'm fully aware, you know, the Stug is over here, so, and he's still on full health, and he kind of makes a bit of a slip up there. My gun gets lifted up into the air, and I realize, okay, I've got a quick reloading gun. I need to get in there, basically. And I do. I get it. I take him out, and I manage to get my first kill. Absolutely good to go. Now, hopefully, we have taken the hill, and you see me. It's a very decent tank going up this very steep hill. And let's check out the sniping capabilities now. And I did shoot there a little bit early. Didn't wait for my reticule to zoom in all the way, and that's going to be very tough to hit. And kind of shoot and hope for a, you know, lucky contact, but it doesn't happen. Gets taken out. Anybody else? Anybody else? And we are good to go. It looks like we are king of the hill. AMX tier 4, tough. Those are tough little quack duck tanks to crack. But I do manage it. Picking up my second kill, absolutely. So not bad. That was medium, somewhat more than medium distance sniping, I would say. So not bad at all. So pushing up here, very apprehensive. Possibly, maybe there's some bad guys down here. Possibly, maybe, possibly. Anybody? And I do get sixth sense. And I was wondering, you know, well, where is this coming from? And at the same time, I was very scared about the fact that, you know, I'm lit up. Artie is in play. And possibly, maybe, I was thinking maybe Artie was up here to my left in the hills. But, you know, he would have been lit up by now. So we're good to go. I've lost my sixth sense. I've lost my detection. And I'm zooming out. And load up HE. You know what time it is. I want to take out the Artie, because I know where the Artie is. Well, you know, there's two locations. Either he's here or he's all the way, you know, in the far corner. Luckily for me, he's right here. So I decide to go for a shoot and a ram. Absolutely works out. Wonderful, perfect. And another Chinokai. Not sure what happened there. Possibly, maybe I'm facing his front, you know, but realize I've still got HE, so reload standard shells and pick up my fourth kill. We are good to go. Absolutely. Mr. Churchill there in the distance. His side, absolutely, you know, I can pen that 100%. But you'll notice, you know, it's just 100 at a time. It's just, you know, 100 odd damage you're inflicting at a time. Yeah, so it's a quick firing gun, but you know, it's not big, massive alpha damage, but it works. Absolutely works. So absolutely a very decent game. We're going to speed things up here, and very decent game. And as you can see, I managed to pick up my mastery badge, and I'm chuffed to bits. But keep in mind, it's like I said, this was a mid-tier game, and mid-tier players, mid-tier skills. This is actually very important when playing this tank. So moving on to my second match, we're on Kamarin, and this is a tier 6, 5 and 4 game, and I'm not necessarily kind of showcasing this game to show off the tank, so to speak, but I wanted to kind of touch on something else, which was the fact I mentioned in the previous game, is that you're mid-tier, and you can see everybody hanging me in. And what I wanted to touch upon was mid-tier games, and you know, playing in this tank. It's like I mentioned in the previous battle, you're playing mid-tier games, it's full of mid-tier players, and that's what I believe personally. When you look at the opponents that you face, the parking right in front of you, and and your teammates, etc., etc. I believe that these are the majority. You know, I could kind of look up their profiles, but you know, I've got better things to do. On World of Tanks Xbox 360, you know, you can look up anybody's profile and check out what tanks, how many battles, etc., etc. But I think this is important to mention with the tier 5 Chinook. You're playing mid-tier games, and you're in a decent tank. You're not in a fantastic tank. You're not in an amazing tank. You're not in a tank that can sort of kind of carry the game. Oh, once in a blue moon, of course, you're gonna have an amazing game, absolutely. And I'm sure there's people out there that can post pics where they got a Top Gun, a Radley, a this, a that. But for the most part, this is a slightly better than average tank, I would say. And because of that, your win rate ratio, so to speak, and I know I mentioned stats aren't important. Stats are important to yourself, kind of thing. It kind of measures how well you do in a tank and what kind of tank that is. Because like around these tiers, when it comes to, like, for instance, the Soviet TDs, my stats, my win rate ratio is really high, like 65%. But when it comes to like a tank like this, my win rate ratio was consistently around 50%, and I kind of couldn't budget, so to speak. Well, I didn't try to budget. It was always at 50%, around that mark, and this was due to the fact that I'm in an okay tank. I cannot carry the game. I can somewhat alter the outcome of the game, but for the most part, you're dependent on your team, and you need to realize that. You need to understand that you're dependent on your team, how well your team does. So you really need to support your team in this tank. It is first and foremost a team player of a tank. With me pinned down. But if your team is going to do badly, you're going to do badly, and there's nothing you can do about it in this tank. So if you have a win rate like I do, around 50%, and you're saying, oh, but I'm usually much better, you know, for the most part, it's okay. It's okay. You know, for me, I did absolutely my best in this tank. I did what I could. But when your team kind of not necessarily lets you down, you know, the opposing team is just better, possibly, doesn't mean your team was worse or bad or anything like that. But you're very dependent on your team in this tank, because you are there as support, and that's your role. That's the type of tank you have. That's the type of tank that you're in, and you know, there's nothing much that you can do. And you can see my team just got annihilated in this game, but I did as much as I could, the best that I could, 100%. But a lot of games I found myself in this situation, absolutely. And final game, we are on Live Oaks. And yes, it's encounter battle, and yes, I'm in the weekly armored tank, and yes, I'm ranked almost at the bottom. So it's a tier 7, tier 6 heavy game. So what can I do? This game was very unusual, due to the fact that, for the most part, when it comes to the Chinook, due to the type of gun that you have, which is a tier 5 gun, majority of your games are tier 5. Tier 5, very rarely, you know, once in a blue moon, some 6s would get thrown in, and this game was a complete one-off for me. You know, I hardly ever saw 7s, but for the most part, it was nice. It was equal matchmaking, all of that good stuff. And look at this, like a boss. And yeah, so it's pretty much, you know, it's kind of even when you roll out in the Chinook. You never thought to yourself, oh my god, what a formidable opponent, what am I going to do? Of course, be wary, absolutely 100%, of the Soviet tanks out there. You're going to be forced to load up premiums, you know, T-29. I remember just bouncing off that thing non-stop, even, you know, at the rear, unless I hit it just perfect. But anyhow, look, I'm ranked at the bottom. What can I do here? You know, and can I do well? Even if I do well, I'll be ranked high in the game. But you know, I wanna do well with damage. I want to do well with damage. So, Chinu. What to do? Hide your tank, especially in this type of game, in this type of battle. Hide your tank. Every time I'm 6th sense, I'm lit up. I'm thinking about those TDs in the back. I'm thinking about the fact that it's early in the game, and look at all those red dots. And every time I get lit up, I'm thinking they can see me. They can see me. They can see me. And they're mostly thinking Japanese tank, auto pen. Absolutely. So every single time I'm having a nice little fun time here sniping without being actually lit up. But every single time I am detected or lit up, I'm pulling back. The base is being capped. It's okay. It's only one person so far. You know, on this game mode, it takes quite a while for, you know, the timer to kick in, and so to speak. And yeah, it's okay. It's all good. And trying to get some. Have you guys noticed this? Look, take a look at this. It zooms through the billboard. I think once I was hiding behind those billboards, and I was wondering how I was getting penned. But yeah. So load up a few load up a few premiums there, due to the fact that, you know, I'm ranked bottom tier. I need a pen. I want a pen. A few pointless, needless shots there using premium, but you're kind of in the heat of the battle, adrenaline is pumping, all of that good stuff. But I only shaved off 100 hit points off my health pool, so we're good to go. I'm using my tank effectively. It's 50-50 at the moment. Free. Zoom in here and try and get some nice flanking shots on these tanks. Possibly maybe while the enemy is distracted, you know, with my compadres. Anybody? Big Rusky. No, absolutely no. I'm not going to stop and, you know, stare and take some shots. I'm lit up. You know, it's 50-50 at the moment. We're leading by 1, but at the same time, nah. Just hold. Lose that 6th sense, lose that detection, and just take it from there. Again, it's 50-50, 6-6. What can we do? And I know there's a little scout down here in the ditch, possibly maybe somewhere, and I decided, oh, what the hey, let's try and take him out and get down into that ditch. And there he is. 12C. Hello, sir. How you doing? Get one into him. Nice little ram. Yeah, got him. Absolutely. 100%. Nice. Can they see me? Can they pen me here? Absolutely not. We are good. And it's still 50-50. Still 50-50. Use the little hill here to my left as cover as I approach the TDs, you know, still lurking in the base. What did we see here? SU-100. Oh, this will be beautiful. Absolutely, you know, I can pen his side any day of the week. And he gets taken out. Good to go. Take a look at the gun depression. Look at this. Very nice indeed. Very nice. Just peekaboo. Just peek over. Get some shots on target. And it's again, it's like I said, it's not that high alpha damage. You're just picking away at the health. Picking away. So keep that in mind. Kind of assess how many hit points they have, and just because they're out in the open and you know, fair game, it doesn't mean you're going to take them out. You know, it takes you a while to whittle down their health, to reduce their health from, you know, 50% to 0 to a death, to a kill. So absolutely not going to cap the base. I know where the rest of the enemies are. They must be pushing towards our base, back at our original spawn. So we're going to scoot up here. We've lost 50% of our hit points, hide in the bushes, use this house as cover as well, and just be patient. Just be patient and wait. Oh, here we go. We are lit up though. We are lit up. Can I get a hit on something? Anything? I'll take that. But I'm wary of this Panzer IV. I respect him. Rock back and forth to lose that detection, lose that sixth sense. You can see, you know, I'm very apprehensive. Very, you know, 233 hit points. That's it. That's all I have. Pull back, pull back, pull back. He doesn't see me. I believe this is the radiator tank. Is it? I think this is the Schmaltz. Yeah, it looks like it. And pick up my second kill. Nice sniping capabilities of Chinook. Very nice indeed. And we see more targets. It is Christmas, absolutely. KV1. Side shots, absolutely. We can get a side shot. Oh, possibly, maybe not. Bounce. And there we go. Set him on fire. And good to go. Gets taken out. My compadre takes him out. Good game, good game, good game. Very nice game indeed. Did very well. Used the strengths of my tank. Sniping. I hid as much as possible. It's a higher tier game, so I had to keep that in mind, and I did. And I just placed my tank, you know, where it could be most effective, etc., etc. Up another mastery badge. Good to go, good to go. And not only that, I do very well in damage. It wasn't just because I was ranked bottom tier. You know, you get ranked very high at the end of a match if you're ranked bottom tier and you do well. But not only that, you know, my damage was good. You know, I can say, yeah, you know, I kicked the enemy's butts. I helped out, absolutely. So, in conclusion, I hope you guys have enjoyed my review of the Chinook Tier 5 Japanese Medium. What to say about this tank? Summarizing, no armor, very good gun, nice bit of mobility there, but no armor. Support. Having said that, you are in, like I said, in mid-tier games, so if you're a higher tier player like myself, have at it, go for it, have some fun. But at the same time, it's like I said, I did average with this tank, and this was due to the fact that it was an average tank. It was an okay tank, very good tank, nothing fantastic there, but and I'm in mid-tier games, and so, you know, it is what it is. It's a nice little tank. Can't wait to get rid of it and move on to the next one though. Take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos.